inevitable. We're living in changing times. Deal with it. I want to offer you a couple of principles, 3 in fact, 3 principles and concepts that you can actually take away with you and actually use and apply in your life. Because knowledge is of no value. I can stand and impart knowledge all morning, but it's not going to be any use to you until you actually say, I want to take that knowledge, I want to bring it into my life, and I want to apply it in my life. Knowledge is not power. It's the application of knowledge that is going to empower you to manage change, to use change, to convert change into the success tool that it can actually be. So the first concept that I want you guys to look at is vision. When you're looking down that railway line and you're anticipating the future, do you stand there and go, I can't do this, I don't know where I'm going? If you keep your eyes on the future and you think about where you want to go, it's like the 3 little boys. They had a challenge, and the challenge was to walk along a straight line. And the first 2 little boys stood and they put one foot gingerly in front of the other, and they wobbled and they went off line. And the 3rd little boy kept his eyes focused in the distance, and he looked at a tree in the distance. And he walked fast and true and kept on a straight line. So it's as Henry Ford says, if you want to encounter challenges, or the saying goes like this, you only see challenges or problems when you take your eyes off your goals. So have goals, have a vision, have a purpose, have a reason for getting up every day. And don't just have a reason yourself for getting up every day, communicate that to the people that you work with. If you're working within teams, make sure that your team has a common vision. Not only a common vision, but a vision that everybody understands, a vision that everybody wants to partake in, a vision that everybody feels a part of. And if you can communicate that successfully to your teams, to everybody within your organization, you have a very, very powerful tool to keep you headed in the direction that you need to be, to keep you on the track of success, on the track of managing change that is going to be coming across your path on a regular basis. The second thing that you need to be looking at is you need to have preparation to handle opportunity. In fact, it was Oprah Winfrey who said, success is when preparation meets opportunity. So you need to be prepared. You need to be doing the stuff on a daily basis that is going to prepare you for when that opportunity comes along. Because if you're not prepared, you're not going to succeed. Les Brown is a perfect example of that. He was working as a gardener, I guess, in a park across the road from a radio station. There was a reason he worked there. He wanted to be close to the radio station and he wanted to be successful. And every single day he used to go to the radio station owner and he'd say, I'm here and I'm looking for a job. And the guy would go, we don't have any jobs available. And with persistence and perseverance, he just kept going back day after day after day. And eventually, he just wore down the station manager, and the guy said, okay, I've got a job, go work in the mailroom. Went down, started working in the mailroom. And every single day, he used to practice with a brush. And he used to stand there and he used to pretend to be a DJ. And he used to stand at the window whenever he could and watch the DJs and see which buttons they were pushing so that he knew exactly what he needed to do when the time came. And the time did come. About 2 years after he started working at the station, one of the DJs on a Saturday afternoon came in about the weather. And he was a little bit drunk and he was sort of stirring on the radio. And the station manager phoned and went, phone anybody, just get them into the station, but get that idiot off the air as quickly as possible. Of course he didn't phone anybody. This was his golden opportunity. 5 minutes later, the station manager phoned him back and said, have you made a call? He went, yes, but nobody's available. And he went, well, can you do it? Of course he could do it. Got onto the air. He became one of the most successful radio DJs in the history of the United States. Why? Because when his opportunity came along, he was ready for it. He'd prepared for it. He'd made sure that he was ready for it. Change. How do we manage change? We prepare for it. We anticipate it. We make sure that we do the stuff we need to do on a regular basis, that when it comes our way, it's not just change, it's now opportunity. And thirdly, one of the easiest and best ways to handle change is, as Les Brown did, persevere. You need to make sure that what you do every single day, you just keep doing on a consistent and a regular basis. That is going to move you from where you are to where you want to go. Is there such a thing as failure? You can't fail if you don't give up. If you're still trying, if you're still working to do something, it's not failure. It's an unresolved challenge. It's an unresolved obstacle. But it's not failure. So you can only fail if you accept that you're going to give up. So never give up, and you can succeed at anything. It's that compounding effect. Just compound your results every single day. They said the eighth wonder of the world is compounding. If you take one person and you take 125 calories out of their diet, you take another person, you put 125 calories into their diet. After 5 months, hardly any difference. With a rounding error, it's pretty much the same. After 18 months, we're starting to see a bit of a bump around the waist. After 31 months, the person who's added 125 calories to their diet, which is a can of soda a day, a can of Coke a day, it's nothing. They are 9 kilograms heavier, and the person who took a can of Coke out of their diet, 31 months later, is 9 kilograms lighter. Insignificant, isn't it? Small. But that's the challenge with compounding. Whether you know about it or you don't know about it, it's inevitable. The person who put the extra 125 calories into their diet, they put on the weight, whether they knew about it or not. The person who took it out, maybe they were aware of it, but what was the big advantage? They were 9 kilos lighter. So persist, persevere, and you've got to succeed. So simply this, guys, have a vision. Plan for the opportunities that are going to come your way. And then when they do, just keep chucking away, chug a lug, every single day, moving yourself inevitably towards the success that you deserve. About 16 years ago, there were two very, very irresponsible young men driving down the N3 towards Johannesburg. And as you know, there's 3 lanes, but when you're in your 20s, it's very important to have the fast lane, because that's the one that matters, isn't it? Well, these 2 youngsters decided that they needed the fast lane so desperately that they actually started bumping each other on the highway. To the point that the cars actually hit each other and rolled and slid across the highway. And as those cars were sliding across the highway, one young man was me. And I was having my head ground away, 16 by 20 centimeters of it gone. It wasn't always this ugly, okay? The target was. Then, of course, my neck was broken. Great. I had the fast lane. Of course, I had got the fast lane, which is really important, isn't it? But I'd also lost the top of my head. I was paralyzed, lying in the ICU. Great success, wasn't it? And I thought, you know what I need to do? My life has changed completely. I mean, I'm kind of lying there, unable to move. Difficult to find something more challenging, a bigger change in your life than that. And I decided what I needed to do was I needed to get out of this. Because my life had changed. What was I going to do? I could accept it. I could just lie there, roll over and go, it's okay. Change doesn't really matter. Or I could confront it and say, this change has come along, but what am I going to take out of it? How am I going to grow from it? How am I going to become better as a result of it? And so what I decided to do, I thought, I'm going to run Comrades. So I'm lying there sort of unable to move, and the doc walks in and I go, Doc, I'm going to run Comrades next year. You know when these guys get this empathetic look on their face and they sort of look down at you like this and they go, right, kid, you're going to lie there and just get used to this idea. He thought that's what my life was going to be like. I had a different picture. I was going to confront this change my way. Not his way, my way. And so I did. I decided to do small little things every day added 125 calories into my diet. I just did tiny little positive, or took tiny little positive actions every day until, yes, I did run Comrades. In fact, I ran it 3 times. And if I can make a recommendation to anyone in the room who's considering running Comrades, rather lie on the floor on the 16th of June every year, get somebody with a 16-pound hammer to come up to you and beat you on the bottom of your feet for it's not 16 hours, only 10 hours. For 10 hours. It's way less painful, okay? Don't run Comrades. Crazy business. But what did I learn from that example? I learned that, yes, there can be changes, unexpected changes. In fact, that's what life's really all about, isn't it? We are continually, consistently confronted with unexpected changes. Some of them are massive.